This report just told us everything about the team as Brian Cashman has made some questionable decisions recently as GM, but this latest mistake has costed the Yankees a chance at dominance from their pitching staff, and fans aren't too happy with it. We'll break down all of this and more on another edition of Yankees Digest. What's going on, guys? Alex Brooks back here on Yankees Digest to give you guys everything surrounding the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees are currently in the offseason. The World Series is going on between the Blue Jays and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Two teams that I feel like Yankee fans right now are kind of just like, can they both lose? Like, what's going on here? But we're going to deliver you everything surrounding the New York Yankees in this episode. But before we get into this video, we're currently at 9244 subscribers on this channel. Our goal is to get to 9,500 by the end of in the middle of November. So we're trying to get to 9,500. So you guys better hit that subscribe button. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the New York Yankees and everything surrounding them and their offseason plans. But getting right into this video, as I wanted to talk about a little bit more about Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner overall in this era with Aaron Boone and Aaron Judge, because this era has been interesting to say the least. Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner have been very conservative with Aaron Judge, this Aaron Judge and Aaron Boone era. It has been more of a, we're going to see how our prospects develop, and then if they do not develop, we're just going to ship them off for like little to no return. So there's really no return on investment with the prospects that the Yankees are developing, and then they're not developing them right. So, guys like Oswald Peraza, like Clint Frazier, like Miguel Andujar, they have not been able to fit the bill in New York. Miguel Andujar has been able to have some success later in his career, but just the guys who haven't had the success in New York, just kind of not developing them right. And just looking at 2018 all the way to 2025, you got Aaron Judge, who is obviously a success of this era. He is the captain of the New York Yankees. Re-signing him was paramount to this Yankees team and their future plans. Definitely deserves everything that comes to him. Two-time MVP, future three-time MVP. When it's all said and done, Gerrit Cole, he's the ace of your staff. Yes, he went down with an injury, but he was the 2023 Cy Young Award winner, so that was definitely a success. Stanton over Harper and Machado, you can argue for both sides. Stanton had a great postseason in 2024. You don't get to the World Series without him, but that is kind of like a half success, I would say, because Stanton did so well in that postseason, but you could have had Harper and Machado to really get you over the hump. But the rest of it really has been questionable. Really questionable by the New York Yankees. And another questionable move, I wanted to bring this up to you guys, was not signing Yamamoto. I think when you look back at the free agency period going into the 2024 season, what was the biggest thing that the Yankees needed? They needed another pitcher with Gerrit Cole. They needed another guy who could dominate like Gerrit Cole in the major leagues. And Yamamoto was the premier target that the Yankees could get. They were fighting with the Dodgers. We understand that he ended up going to the Dodgers and pairing up with Shohei Ohtani, but the Yankees didn't want to pass that threshold of what Gerrit Cole's contract is for a guy who hasn't played in the major leagues yet. I understand the philosophy at the time, but now knowing that Yamamoto is now one of the best young pitchers in the major leagues, and he has just been able to do so well in LA and helping them get to 2 straight World Series, it is a mistake that Cashman is going to have to live and die on with this Yankees fans, because they have not been able to get another pitcher. They got Max Fried, but just looking at how Yamamoto was able to dominate against the Blue Jays in Game 2, that really helped the Dodgers just even this series. It just is a sour taste in the mouths of all of Yankees fans. And, just a little bit more on this. This was from Alvin Garcia at Heavy Sports, saying this wasn't just about one missed free agent. It's a symptom of a larger problem under Cashman's leadership. The Yankees have repeatedly come up short in securing elite talent when it mattered most. They did it with Freddie Freeman. They did it with Blake Snell. And they did it again with Yamamoto. And this is definitely right. This is definitely something that is really true when looking at this Yankees team. I mean, you're looking at what you've missed out on in the free agency pool. Freddie Freeman goes to the Dodgers. The Yankees don't offer him a competitive contract to be the first baseman of the New York Yankees. They decide to go with Anthony Rizzo. They decide to just stick with him and just let that go, let that be. And then not getting another starter. They got Max Fried. I completely understand that, but you didn't get someone else who could be at the same level as Gerrit Cole, because now it's not just having one ace. It's pretty much in this league, you need to have three aces on your staff if you are going to compete for championships. It's hard, but it's something that is necessary. And the Dodgers have been doing it for years and years now, and it has helped them all the way through this era with Dave Roberts and Freddie Freeman and Ohtani. They got Ohtani, they got Yamamoto. They won the World Series against the Yankees last year and are looking to win back-to-back World Series against the AL East opponents in the Toronto Blue Jays. But looking a little bit more on Yamamoto and his stats over his 2 years in the MLB. 7-2 with a 3 ERA in 2024. Really solid pitcher in 18 games started. He has 105 strikeouts. He was definitely, just getting used to starting and kind of getting in there. But when he was out there, he was dominating. And then 2025, I mean, this is unbelievable. 12-8 with a 2.49 ERA in 30 games started, over 200 strikeouts, and he had the batting average at 183 against opponents. That is unbelievable from a guy who is just been able to really help out the Dodgers and be one of their best pitchers, if not their best pitcher in their pitching staff. And the Yankees could have had him. The Yankees could have had this guy with Gerrit Cole and completely dominate in the Bronx, but they didn't want to give a little bit more money to match the Gerrit Cole's contract. And it's costing them right now. They got Max Fried. Max Fried is definitely a real big name pitcher. He helped us out in the Red Sox series, but when it came to another series in Toronto where you're going to make your contract, you make or break your contract right there, Max Fried didn't deliver. He didn't deliver against the Toronto Blue Jays when the Yankees needed him. And that was just all she wrote in that series, because the Yankees going down 2-0, especially just playing possibly three straight elimination games, there is no room for error. And Max Fried was going to be the guy who was just going to shut down this Toronto Blue Jays lineup, but he didn't. Yamamoto, the Dodgers had a chance to go down 2-0 in the series going back to LA. What did Yamamoto do? Shut down this lineup. It's just the comparison between these guys. One guy was able to do it, one guy wasn't. It's just how it goes, and Yamamoto just did it, and he deserves all the praise in the world for his success right now with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And, looking at this rotation, just looking at what the Yankees can improve on with this rotation moving forward, I definitely think that Cole coming back is just going to be huge, just because there's not going to be pressure on Max Fried being the ace of this staff. You're going to have Gerrit Cole, you're going to have Max Fried, you're going to have Carlos Rodon, you're also going to have Cam Schlittler and a bunch of other guys like Clark Schmidt, Luis Heel, and Will Warren fighting for that fifth spot. So you have a chance to really, if everybody is on, you could have one of the most dangerous rotations in Major League Baseball. But you got to make sure that all of these guys are healthy, all of them are pitching in big moments and really doing well against these big teams. We've seen this season, it seemed like when the Yankees were facing the Dodgers, they were outclassed. Against the Boston Red Sox in the regular season, outclassed. You got to be able to pitch in these big games, whether it's the Dodgers, whether it's the Red Sox, whether it's going to be the Blue Jays next year, that's going to be very highlighted. You got to make sure that you can dominate against these opponents to end up being like making your contract, because a lot of these guys, these have $300 million contracts, $200 to $300 million contracts with all three of these pitchers, Cole, Fried, and Rodon. What have they done? What have they done? They've gotten the Yankees to a World Series in 2024 before Max Fried, but this year, what have they done? All three of them. They haven't been able to dominate the way the Yankees can rely on them in big playoff games, and that's in pitching wins championships. At the end of the day, starting pitching wins championships, and you got to have that if you are going to raise up that trophy and raise up the trophy for championship number 28. And I just think that with everything that's going on with this Yankees pitching staff and everything going into this offseason, Yankees got to make a big splash. They got to make a big splash. Judge is not getting any younger. Stanton's not getting any younger. And Max Fried is not, or Gerrit Cole is not getting any younger. So you got to make sure you can take advantage of this time right now. And before, you know, closing out this video, I wanted to shout out a comment from the Pete Alonso video. This was from Arlo MI6 saying, "What was your dream offseason acquisition for the New York Yankees?" Luis Arias, that boy can hit. Yes, he can definitely hit. Getting a guy like Luis Arias to be at the top of the lineup, I've said Steven Kwan in the past, but the Yankees are able to make that big splash. I definitely agree, Marlo MI6, that Luis Arias would be perfect for this New York Yankees team. And I raised the question to you guys. You can say it in the comments, talking about, do you believe that the Yankees made a mistake not signing Yamamoto? Type Y for yes and type N for no. Want to get your thoughts on Yamamoto, and do you think the Yankees made a mistake at the time and right now, and just everything that has transpired? Do you think the Yankees made a mistake, and why did they make that mistake, and what the Yankees can do moving forward? But that's going to do it for another edition of Yankees Digest. Appreciate all the support you guys are giving us on this channel. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the bell so you are notified of these videos. We're trying to get to 9,500 subscribers. That is the next goal for this channel, on the road to 10,000 subscribers on this channel. We really appreciate all the support. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and let's go Yankees.